Welcome to the English Mystic Podcast. I'm your host, English Mystic, Dragon Shaman, Spirit Whisperer, and Mr. Explorer of all things seen and unseen. You're tuning in to a very special series honouring the epic Dragon Thunder Summit 2025, a worldwide gathering of visionaries, dragon channels, energy workers and soul-shifting guides. The summit brought together 36 incredible speakers from across the world, each sharing their unique gifts, wisdom and connection with the dragon realms. In this podcast series, we're diving deep, one episode at a time, into the essence of each speaker, their transmission, their gifts, and all the healing and awakening and dragon connections they've brought forward. To explore more about each speaker or to access the full summit replays, visit www.dragonthunder2025.com. Now breathe deep, call in your dragons, and let's step through the portal together. Our speaker is Lizbeth. She spoke about her lifelong connection with nature and dragons, describes her experiences with the various elemental dragons and her work with earth healing. She also shares a meditation and insights on working with dragon energy for your personal and for environmental healing.
Hello, Lizbeth. So I just want to go through your bio for a bit. Right. So, Lizbeth, you are the heart behind Lizbeth's Botanicals and the visionary creator of Earthworking, the Sacred Path. And this is an 8-week certification program designed to help people heal themselves and the earth through intuitive connection, energy work, and a sacred practice as well. So you are a lifelong intuitive. Lizbeth has worked with devas, fae, and earth energies since childhood. But it was a deep bond with the angels and dragons that reshaped everything. These ancient beings helped her heal from chronic illness, reconnect with her purpose, and taught her to walk the earth as a sacred steward. So through Earthworking, which is a registered trademark, Lizbeth weaves together plant wisdom, energy work, and spiritual communion with elemental allies. Her work invites others to remember their own inner power, commune with nature, and reclaim the magic that's always been within. Elizabeth will share her personal journey with the dragons, the birth of Earthworking, and how these mighty beings are here to guide us in healing, remembering, and restoring the earth. She'll also lead you into a guided meditation to meet your nature dragon guardian, a powerful ally already walking beside you. So with that, welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I'm really excited and really nervous at the same time. So I guess this is my first time ever here, and I'm grateful for you guys having me. One of the things that has always been such a huge part of my life is nature, and even as a small child, I was very drawn to nature, trees in particular. I always joke that trees are my people because I talk to them, they talk to me. I'm sure I'm not alone in being someone who actually hears nature when it speaks. But, excuse me, since birth, I've always seen beyond what you call the typical human experience. I see wider range of colors than the average human does. Like in the spring, I can see the trees change color. I can see the sap rising. It's really kind of interesting. Oh, same with someone said, same for you. Cool. The clairs, I see, I hear, and I know. I've experienced all of the different, what they call the clairs at one time or another. But with the dragons, a lot of it is the knowing and the feeling with them, or actually the hearing as well, because I will hear them speak. And a lot of dragons are very musical. They love to sing, but their music is very different from what we might consider music as humans. It's very different from tree music and plant music, which they all have their own type of music as well. Um, excuse me. So since I was a teenager, especially, I have been super, super drawn to dragons. And like Viviana, The Dragon Riders of Pern by Anne McCaffrey were pivotal for me. Can't say enough about those books. There were other authors that I would read as well, but it's the Pern books that just, yeah, I always wanted to impress a dragon too. Um, and, just, I would always dream about, I would have these dreams about dragons and unicorns. I would have these dreams about eagles and coming to teach me. And in my dreams, they would come in and they would actually teach me. And I wouldn't remember the lessons in my waking time afterwards. I wouldn't remember the lessons. All I would remember is that they came in and they taught me things. And so these are obviously things that are embedded deep inside of me, not necessarily meant for the conscious mind to know. There was a dragon that was instrumental in bringing me the purple flame. And I have memories of lifetimes where I flew with the dragons. I mean, I could actually feel where the wings, where I had wings. And I had to give them up, or I chose to give them up. I shouldn't say I chose to give them up. But I do remember flying with dragons. I wasn't a dragon, but I flew with them. And so all of these things were happening when I was a teenager. And of course, I was a teenager in the 70s, and we had libraries and we had card catalogs and very little about dragons that you could read about. So, you didn't have Google to Google things. And hi, Viviana. It was wonderful watching you. So she says she has to go. So. Basically, a lot of what I know about dragons, some of it comes from fantasy novels. You read the fantasy novels about the dragons, and or you read about, Arthurian legends and the dragons there, and that was your main source other than your own intuition. So I learned to listen to my intuition when delving into that, and based on the dreams that I would have. And these were lucid dreams. I would know I was in a dream and know I was dreaming about it. And some of it was astral traveling, where I would actually feel the physical sensations of meeting with the dragons and the unicorns and the angels that would come. It was, I couldn't talk to anybody about it. I know there's a lot of you out there that will relate to this. There's nobody you can talk to about it sometimes. And especially in that era, people would think you're, Fruity Loops, because you just, oh, psychic stuff isn't real, or the clairs aren't real, or dragons aren't real. That's all in your head. It's not in your head. It's real. It's just different dimensional. And there are some people who can only sense the one dimension that they are in, and that's okay. That's where they are in their path. And then there are those of us who sense the multi-dimensions and who can actually kind of navigate a little bit, higher, lower, where we need to be. And then you had mentioned something about how we raise ourselves up and the dragons kind of bring themselves down so we can meet. Yes, that has been my experience as well. That when we get to a certain point and a certain, I guess, vibration, the dragons can then meet us. It's the same thing with angels can then meet us, and we can, sense them, feel them, see them, have conversations with them, work with them. And so kind of after my teenage years, I shut a lot of this stuff down because it got a little scary. I didn't know how to protect myself energetically or spiritually. I didn't know. I had too many people telling me I was crazy, or that my imagination was too vivid, and I was making up stories. And so I just kind of pushed it all aside for a while. And then in my 30s, I had a near-death experience. And then between the ages of 40 and 50, I had another 3 near-death experiences this is on top of the 4 I had before I turned 5 years old. So my life has been a bit chaotic. But after this one in my 30s, dragons started to come in again for me, and I started really noticing them. And this was especially, I spent 2 years living in Taiwan, and there are dragons everywhere, obviously.
Yeah.
It was just one of the highlights of my life to actually spend 2 years in such a beautiful place, and with wonderful people. And the dragons started really pulling at me again. Only I didn't really know why, but I could really feel it. And then after, it was in my 50s, I started really getting in tune with my spiritual side again, and brought out the tarot cards again, started really getting into meditation. And in meditation, I would often see myself in clouds, and I could sense wings. And after a while, those wings became a more concrete body, and I realized that it was this ancient earth dragon, and that he was flying with me. He was with me in meditation. And so it's an ancient dragon that I've worked with over many lifetimes, is what he told me. But this is about 2012, 2013, I think, when I was getting back into this meditation stuff. And he would come into some of my meditations, and always when I would end the meditation, I'd be like, "No, don't go away." And he'd be like, "I'll be back. I'll be back when you're ready." And so he would come back. And again, it was like those dreams I used to have when I was a teenager, where the teachers would come in whatever form they were, the dragons, the unicorns, the angels, whatever, the eagles, would come in, they would teach me, and then they would, go their own way again. And so this is what he would do, only this was in meditation, so it was a bit more concrete for me. As I started waking up to all of this, I started hearing trees again. When I was really little, my Nana, my great grandmother, she was indigenous, and she was Native American. And she used to sing to her plants, and she used to talk with her plants. And I spent a bit of time with her when I was really young, and we would be working in the garden, weeding the flowers, and she would be singing and talking to the plants, and I would see sparkles. And from these conversations, and I only heard her side of the conversation, I never heard the other side, but she would pull out information that she would then take to the local farmers or take to the fishermen on the river. This is up on the Canadian-American border on the St. Lawrence River. And she would tell them about incoming storms or things they needed to do to improve the harvest. And so she was talking with the earth, talking with the plants. She didn't really mention dragons, but when I think back on these memories, there is a dragon energy to it. And
there was a connection, yeah.
Yeah, I could feel it coiled around her cottage. There was a dragon that used to coil. It was in the earth, coiled around her cottage. It gave her protection, but also helped her. So because she was very, very in tune with the earth. And so I started hearing, again, this is something that I had kind of gotten out of the practice of. And then I started hearing the trees again and started really waking up. So I started going on more hikes. We have some nature centers near where I am, and places that are really nice to hike. And so I started doing more of that. And you can just feel it coming up through the earth, the energy through the earth. And this is about 6 years ago, the word earthworking was given to me. And with the earthworking, it's a weave of like plant wisdom and spiritual communication, elemental allies, and dragons play a huge part in this. And it's a remembering of who you are at the soul level, and working with the elemental allies to help you heal those parts of you that need healing. And while you are bringing about your own healing, you're also working with the elements of the earth and helping the earth to heal as well. And when I do this, as I've been working through this, the different elements, as this was coming to me, as the earthworking was becoming, um, there were dragons that would come through with each of the elements. So when you're working with earth is very grounding. It's your foundation, it's your stability. This is where you can release your grief and begin to release trauma, and you feel safe in doing so. So, and from there, you move on to like working with air. So you have the air dragons, and this is helping you to clear your mental fog. It brings clarity. It's also, if you think about like wiping the slate clean, it can bring very swift, very clear change. So working with the air dragons can be very helpful for that. Air dragons also help work on our atmosphere. One of the things I love to do when I drive, I like to look at clouds as I'm driving.
Mhm.
And so sometimes with the clouds, you'll see the dragons in the clouds. And so these dragons aren't really air dragons, but they're not water dragons either. They're kind of a mix of both, but they work with the sylphs. They work with the air spirits to help clear things. And it's really cool. I have photos that I was actually able to get of dragons and sylphs in the air with the clouds. And it's so cool to see them and to actually know what they are and to be able to speak with them. When we work with fire dragons, so fire dragons are really good at burning away like false identity. They the facade that we carry, the illusions that we protect ourselves with. So when working with fire dragons, it can be, again, a very swift change, like phoenix rising from the ashes kind of thing. But it's also about being ready to just drop the masking and show the world who you are in a blaze of glory and not being afraid to do so. And this is one area where I struggle with still, because, and I can feel this like in my throat chakra today, because I'm actually speaking about this stuff, which I haven't really done in a very long time. And again, it's about burning away the facade and just saying, this is who I am. This is what I can do. This is what I see. And the fire dragons are very good at being a catalyst for doing that. But they also can help ignite a passion in you to be true to yourself and to really want to get rid of all the other stuff and just be who you are. Water dragons are very nurturing. They are the ones who embody emotion and as well as memory and ancestral work. So it's healing across lifetimes, healing across ancestral lines, and they can help you with clearing ancestral trauma as well as hold space for you when you are going through and doing a lot of emotional healing. So, and again, they'll bring forth a lot of change, but sometimes the change, like if you are not someone who is ready for really quick transformational change, you need that slower pace, that slower transformational change. Water dragons can help work with that. They can help modify the speed. I mean, if you think about rivers, how rivers will change formation in the earth over millennia, water dragons like that. They are relentless, but they can also be very gentle but thorough. They won't give up on you. None of the dragons give up on you. They will step back when it's not the time for them to work with you, or if you need a break, but they never give up on you. They are always there. It's kind of like working with your angels. They are always there. And then there's the ether dragons. I call them ether. And I spell it Aether. And these are the dragons that they remind us that of the oneness of everything. They are the energy that brings us all together and connects everyone and everything. They span not just the earth, they are everywhere throughout the cosmos. And these are the ones that can help you reconnect with your higher self, reconnect not just with your soul, but with the souls of, with, I don't even know how to, it's like I can see it. I'm not sure the words to say for this.
Mhm.
Basically, what I'm seeing is like lifetimes of soul work. So it connects, and you can see it connecting through all your different lifetimes. So it is all one soul, but it's the different facets of your lifetimes. So, and working with dragons is very multifaceted, very multifaceted. And depending on what you need, they will step forward and do different aspects. So I tend to work with earth dragons a lot because I'm very earth oriented. Astrologically, I'm a Virgo sun with a Capricorn moon and Capricorn rising. So I'm so totally earthbound, it's not funny. Basically, I have no fire in my chart at all. But that being said, I work with elementals too, and one of the main elementals that I work with is a fire elemental who looks like this big bruiser of a blacksmith. He's amazing, but uh, yeah, so working with the dragons of the other elements has been very eye opening for me. The ether one was kind of easy in the scheme of things because I do work with angels a lot. So there's a similar feeling for me. I feel that there's a similar energy between angels and the ether dragons. With the fire dragon is the one that um, can trigger me. And so that's obviously where I need to do the most work. And so when I do the earth working, and the funny thing is that, like with the fire dragons, one of the things, and I've been doing this kind of earth work since I got back into meditation around like 2011, 2012. So working on earth healing and like protective grids around the earth. And what I would find is as I'm working on these meditations where I'm just kind of seeing what in the earth needs healing. And yes, I was another one. Reiki was one of my starting points as well. Reiki. So yeah, but it's gone way beyond. And I use Reiki every day, but this is so much. It encompasses all of that and so much more. But I would use that. I would go and say, okay, where in the world needs some healing? Send me somewhere. And I would ask my spirit team. I would ask my angels, say, show me where in the world I need to go to. And there was one time during meditation when I was like, I could feel myself physically pulled to Mount Vesuvius in Italy. And as I'm there, and I'm standing on the side of the mountain, and I could see, and it was all like purple energy where different people were standing, and you could see where there were hundreds of us around the summit of Mount Vesuvius, and we were all putting energetic holes into the mountain to relieve the pressure, and because we were preventing it from erupting. And there were dragons, and meanwhile there were you could feel the fire dragons in the volcano itself, and the fire dragons were helping us because they were trying to keep the volcano from erupting as well, because it wasn't the right time for it to erupt. It will be erupting at some point again, but that was not energetically the time for it to happen. I guess if that makes sense. So and then there were the other times I have worked with some fire dragons and fire elementals is a few years ago. I'm trying to remember when it was. 2017? No. It was before COVID. Australia had those horrible, horrible, horrible fires.
I think I do remember that event. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was so there was a group of us working together, and we were sending energy to help make, reduce the devastation. But because the fires were, I know there was a lot of talk about from the indigenous peoples that the fires were. There were a lot of reasons why the fires were happening, and so we were working with the fire elementals and the dragons to help make sure this was, as to minimize the devastation, but to maximize the benefit. I guess if that benefit's probably not the right But so we were working with that to help it process through better and help Mother Earth process through better. So that's kind of what I do, and I don't. With the earthworking, it's a lot of where am I going today kind of thing. As I sit down and I meditate, what needs healing today. So I do spend a lot of time locally, actually, and on my own, where my house is, my land that I have. I spend a lot of time working on that. But I do end up in other places. When Japan had when the Fukushima reactor went and all the healing to the water, that's how I met Mer people. Was doing the earthworking working with the water dragons, and Mer people are not at all what I expected them to be. They don't look anything like what I would have expected. They definitely don't look human at all. But and they're it was just it was they would come and they would show me where we needed to send the energy to help heal the waters. So I still work on that a little bit now and again. More local places that have pollution, and the dragons can help work on this stuff, which is really cool. They can they will help you heal. They will help you with the transmutation. Sorry, not only of yourself but with the environment around you, to help bring healing to the environment, to bring healing to yourself, and to just balance things out so we are more in balance with ourselves and more in balance with nature. If that makes sense.
Oh no, it totally does. Totally does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, so I did want to with my earthworking, because I do some work. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. No, I appreciate you being here. For those of you who have to leave, I know it's getting kind of late for some of you. So there are two catalysts about earthworking that can be very important, and one of them is elemental exposure, and this is where you get truly seen by the elemental forces that are around you, earth, air, fire, water, ether, and it will help collapse the false personality, and helps release trauma, and it can help you find that balance and peace, that the inner balance and peace that a lot of people are missing. It's not just about healing, it's about realigning with purpose and emotions and decisions. And it's not about creating a new you, it's about remembering who you are at the core. But the other catalyst for the earthworking is what I like to call the mythic memory activation. And this is where dragons come into play, really, because through the dragon resonance, participants you access a soul layered memory, and things that were buried under what they call like modern amnesia. So when we're born into this world, we forget a lot of stuff that we knew prior to coming into the lifetime. So this basically helps you reawaken those memories that had been forgotten. And it helps you feel, it helps you regain courage to be able to do this. It can end cycles of not enough, or what if I'm wrong, or this is all fantasy, when it is real. It's also, it helps you remember that you've walked with dragons before, because dragons are, like Viviana was saying, they're a part of us. We have dragons in us. We have dragons next to us. We have dragons all around us. There's a duality, but then there's the fractal aspect of dragons are part of who we are at our essence and our core. They're kind of the fire beneath the path, as it were. So when we walk through, so with earthworking, I do walk people through the five elements, I should say, through the five elements. And as you watch through these, you just walk through the elements. you touch on different aspects. So, for example, your foundation is earth, your spirit is fire, your faith is air, and that's faith in yourself as well as it does not preclude religious faith, so it can also work with religious faith. Your heart, which is water, and your connection with all, which is the ether. So there's that. And what I want to look at the time. Okay, I did want to take you guys through a quick meditation also. So I just got to find the meditation here. Nope, that's not it.
So while you're finding it, maybe perhaps tell us about, did you find it?
No, I'm still looking for it.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe tell us about, you mentioned something about the purple flame that the dragon brought to you. Maybe a little bit more about that?
It was a dream I had. It was a very lucid astral dream. I was working with some angels on some things, and then the dragons came in, and they kind of gathered around me, and they handed me this ball, like big crystal ball. And as soon as I held it in my hand, the purple flame just came up, and it was just blazing inside of it. Whereas I had not. It should be here. It was they were handing it to me, going, "You'll need this," is what they said. I was like, "Okay, what do I do with it? I don't know what to do with this." So I keep it with me, and I was told that some of it is for protection, not just for me, but protecting the planet and protecting others and teaching other people how to. So.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So, okay, so I do have a meditation, and I actually printed it off, so I don't have to search for it on the computer. So, all right. It's a fairly quick one, but and I'm going to one of the things I'm going to do, and I can put the link in there in a minute, is I'm going to re-record this meditation with music background, and I will put it up on my SoundCloud where I have my other meditations, so that if you guys want to re-listen to it and you want to listen to it with some music, it'll be there and available for people. So, all right. So get comfortable and close your eyes. Okay. Let the noise of the world slip behind you. Let silence arrive like a fog rising from ancient soil. Now, take a deep breath. Deeper. Lower. Let it drop into your belly, into your bones, and into the earth beneath you. You are not sitting on the ground. You are sitting on a living memory. Beneath you, the earth breathes. Beneath you, a dragon stirs. Feel the roots from your body begin to grow downward. Like old vines, remembering how to belong. With every breath, those roots twist and coil deeper and deeper into the earth, until they brush against something warm, ancient, coiled like fire in the dark. This is dragon magic. It does not ask for permission. It knows who you are. Take another breath and feel it rising through your roots. through your spine, through your heart, not to burn you, but to wake you. The dragons are not coming back because they never left. They've just been waiting for someone to hear them. And now you have. Take one more breath. Whisper to the earth, I remember. And when you're ready, return to this moment. But know, something ancient has already moved. I hope that resonated with some of you, or all of you. Great.
Quick meditation, but very powerful.
Quick, but yes. Yeah. So I do want to, I don't know that I actually had a chance to send this into, I do have a thank you gift for everybody who was here. There you go. I just put it into the chat. It's a downloadable which has 5 oracle cards on it that you can use as a daily grounding routine or a daily focus. You can use it as a journaling prompt. You can put it on an altar. You can, all sorts of things you can do with that. So, and let's see.
Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, thank you. So I don't know if people had questions, or I know I'm running, it's kind of a short, I guess I didn't have as much prepared to talk about as I thought. I tend to have time blindness, and so wanted to make sure.
Well, look, that's fine. So, yeah, to the listeners, if there's anybody that has any questions, any comments, please feel free to put that through. And I like what you said about it's being dimensions. And I know you mentioned doing all of this stuff in the 70s. So in my mind, you're definitely one of the way showers that kind of set the energy, set the groundwork for people like me to come through. I'm not going to say much later, but okay. So yeah, look. So I'm a child of the 80s. So I was looking at you, and you said you were in your teens and your 70s. I'm like, some other magic that's going on there. But
the more you do energy work, and the more you work with dragons and elementals and angels, the younger you get, I guess.
Well, clearly. So yeah, people, if you want the fountain of youth, I think we need to speak to Lizbeth there. But look, I think on a serious note, there wasn't a lot of people available that time that you mentioned, where people could talk. I mean, the most that people knew around the time was your transcendental meditations and obviously Reiki, which is why a lot of us got into that type of energy work back in the days, because that's what was available. And I think it's very nice the way you've connected with the elementals and the grid work. I mean, like I mentioned before, that meditation was short, but it was very, very powerful. As soon as I connected, I could feel that vibration. I could feel it. It almost sounded like a rumble that was there when we connected to this dragon. So people, just do it again if you haven't felt anything initially, because definitely that energy is very, very powerful. And I just want to say, with most energy work, don't forget, especially when working with dragons, hydrate. Just drink a lot of water. It's going to help you to ground and really anchor in those energies.
Yeah. Well, and the neat thing about dragons too, working with them, is it doesn't take a long time necessarily. Things can happen and transform very, very quickly. And I'm actually ADHD, so I'm ADHD with autism. So for me, I don't always have the patience to sit and do really long, in-depth meditations. As a matter of fact, talking about TM, Transcendental Meditation, which is what I tried to do back in the 70s, trying to meditate, and it just did not work for me because everybody was like, no, clear your mind. It must be completely clear for it to work. And I'm like, yeah, my mind is never clear.
Yeah, I'm not white like that, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so we have a couple of thank yous.
Yes.
Jolene, yeah, she mentioned that it is pretty early in the morning. So yeah, once again, she gives her thanks. She wants to learn more perspectives, and yeah, she does have a bit of making the connections. I already met her dragon years ago without realizing. So I am interested about the mer people, though. So you're saying that it's not what Disney portrays them to be?
Oh gosh, no. So how they appeared to me was, I mean, yeah, you have the tail aspect of it, which looks like basically a fish kind of tail, and they have the torsos and the head and the arms, and their fingers are webbed, but their faces are definitely not human. They are not as the ones that I encountered. The noses were quite a bit more flat. They didn't really have so much lips, and their eyes were bigger and rounder. Kind of, I don't know. When I first saw them, it took me aback for a second, and I had to pause and go, "Oh, okay." And I knew what I was seeing, and they're not always friendly. Because they've had so much of where they are has been encroached upon and poisoned. And so they tend to live in like deep recesses and away from human habitation as much as possible, uh, because they're trying to survive. And their numbers have been like drastically diminished. And again, but they are ones that don't live completely in our dimension. So there's a dimensional aspect to them as well. And but yeah, when you connect with them because you're doing healing through the water, they work well with you. They will they are very welcoming and very very easy to work with, and they will actually show you things. So like if there's a certain aspect that they need focused on, they will tell you, they will show you, and they will help you learn how to work with that healing aspect more.
I think the respect is kind of amplified when you do that level of work. I think that you're doing as well. We do have a question here from Anna of Vibrant Heart. She says, okay, thank you for sharing. My first understanding of dragons was that I am a dragon. It was a big jump, but now I feel so grateful to have started with that truth. What recommendations do you have for coming into our dragon identity fully?
Well, first of all, embrace it, because I'm trying to think of the words I want to say here. Absolutely embrace that dragon aspect of yourself. Because there's wisdom there, there's learning there, there's remembering. Actually, it's remembering more than learning, and it would be curious. I don't know if you're curious about this at all. Why did you become human and leave the dragon aspect behind? That might be, and I feel like I'm getting chills on this here. I feel like that's something for you to delve into, because that is a transformation that is ready to make now, is to learning the reason why you chose to give up being a dragon and become human. And your soul is ready to bring back that fractal part of you and reintegrate it into who you are now. Ooh, that's like really powerful. Like I'm feeling that the power in you, and just the whole, you were one of many dragons. There's like a whole dragon family out there waiting for you to reunite. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she
So,
says, yeah, Anna does say, I love that you named the heart as water energy. I feel that so much. I connected with the mer people and such a sense of belonging and deep care for me. So grateful. And
oh, I'm so
yeah, yeah. So that's pretty awesome, Anna.
sorry. Okay. Um,
So can you tell us a bit more about your offerings? Midge?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have my Earthworking program that I do, which it's 8 weeks of once a week live classes where we dive into the elements. So you have the 5 elements, plus there's other meditations and works that we will do. So it's not so much ritual work that we do, but it's more healing the earth. Like we'll be pulled to specific places in the earth to actually work on some healing. Hold on. Yeah. So basically, what Earthworking does is it weaves together your plant wisdom, your energy work, and your spiritual communication of communion with the elemental allies, and it's remembering and recognizing your own inner power, working with nature and reclaiming that magic that's always been a part of you. But it's also, so this program itself is a live guided journey uh, with it's a soul return with an elemental connection, and it's personal healing, planetary healing, and they happen together. And it's about remembering that you are nature, you are one, you are part of all of it. Um, let's see, hold on. Let's see. So, if you wanted to get a taste of what earthworking involves without, um, uh, just to get a taste of it, at the end of July, I am actually doing a free 3-day challenge for earthworking called the Remembering. And let me find my paper here, and I can actually put a link to that. So if you wanted to see what it was, see what it is for. So we're going to do 3 days. So we start with earth, and then we'll do air, and we'll do fire. And then we will add water and ether in to different aspects that we're working on in the 3 days. And excuse me, that's basically, there's going to be meditation, discussion. We'll talk about the elements, and we'll bring dragons into it. And it is, they won't be long classes, so it's going to be like maybe 45 minutes each day for 3 days. And then there's also, you'll have some journaling prompts, and we will do some earth healing with that when we do that. So, Anna says, also my kid is ADHD. Yeah. Is there anything you can share about your lived experience to help me understand them better, specifically the spiritual initiative aspect? ADHD people, because we have a lot of neural pathways in our brain that works. So you've got the ADHD, which craves the whole newness and excitement, and then you've got the autism part that really wants the I need my routine. Got to have my routine. So I always joke that I love having parameters when I do things. And when I taught in the Muggle world, I was a teacher for 34 years. So as long as I had my parameters, my box that I had to work inside of, I could go crazy and be really creative. So having boundaries, good boundaries, is helpful, but allowing the creativity within those boundaries to just take whatever form and shape it takes that is also very helpful. I'm not sure if that's answering your question. With the spirituality, I kind of fell into that. I don't even know how to, like with my own kids, all three of my kids are ADHD as well. And so basically, I just let them explore as things would come to them. My kids see and hear things like I do. So, none of them ever slept because things kept them awake at night. People kept them awake at night. They could hear people, they could see them. Um, so you might have a lot of ADHD people who are very open. Acceptance is the main thing. Just acceptance for who they are, what they see, what they can do, and loving them no matter what. That's a huge thing because that's where the fire dragon gets me. With the burning away of the trauma, because my main trauma is abandonment. People walking away from me when they see who I really am and what I actually can do. And that is a lesson that has been just pounded into me from the time I can remember. Um, so yeah, I don't know. If that helps, Anna. I hope.
I think it does. Would you say that working with an earth dragon as well can also assist in?
Oh, absolutely. Because the dragons, they don't judge with something like that, and they can help. So, for example, if you are someone who really has a lot of trouble focusing and concentrating, you can call in an earth dragon to help you ground and to help you feel more grounded, more focused. Also, the water dragon for acceptance and love and just helping to, not necessarily go with the flow, but to help wash away the hurts, to help bring in that change that can be slow and steady without being just blow your mind quick. Because I don't always deal well with very quick change because that's the autistic part of me. So Colleen says light language. Yeah, you know what? I really, a lot of what I hear from the dragons is light language. And it's to me like, so when I hear light language, what I hear is to me very musical. And so that's a lot of what, not all dragons, I should say, not all dragons, although I think all of them can use that. But yes, definitely a lot of what I hear from them is light language. And the cool thing about light language is it doesn't necessarily translate into words as we hear when we're speaking, but there's an intrinsic understanding with it. When we hear it, we can understand what is being said if we just allow it to flow into us and just accept, which I find is really cool. So I just put in the link for the actual Earthworking program. If you guys wanted to get a hold of me, my website is, for some reason I didn't have that. Okay, my website is actually called lindentreeintuitive.com. Oops, I can't spell. Named after the linden tree I have out in front of my house. Her name is Tilly. I hope I spelled that right. Okay. There's that. And you can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Facebook and YouTube as Lizbeth's Botanicals. Although I will admit my YouTube is pretty sad. I don't really have much up there at all. So, yeah. All
I've already pasted in the links there, but earlier, yeah. So it's got your Instagram, it has your Facebook and your YouTube account as well to follow. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so Anna says, yeah, this is so helpful. Thank you for your openness. We have lots of trauma to heal. My genius is water, so there is that beautiful flow. My kid told me the best thing I ever did for them It was work myself. I keep focusing on that and allow the ripple effects to benefit them. Thank you.
Yes.
And
There is something to be said for the generational healing. And whenever we heal ourselves, we heal the people behind us, but we also heal the people in front of us.
mhm. And I think that once again, the ripple effects, it just doesn't only benefit the people around you, but it affects the environment, as I said before, as within, so without, because of that interconnectedness that everyone has with the rest of the cosmos. But it starts here, it starts with you. And when you do the work, when you show up for yourself, there's some amazing things that can happen. Absolutely amazing things.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. This has been absolutely wonderful. I hope
Yeah.
people got some stuff out of it. And yeah.
No, well, thank you, Kevin. Thanks to the dragons as well.
Mhm.
It's Kevin answered the call. We all showed up, and yeah. No, look. Once again, thank you for showing up.
Thank you for journeying with us today on the English Mystic Podcast, Dragon Thunder Summit 2025 edition. This is just one voice, one frequency in a greater dragon symphony, each echoing across the earth right now. If you felt the stir in your heart, if you heard a whisper from your dragon allies, then the work is beginning. Be sure to explore all 36 epic speakers and their transmissions by heading over to the website www.dragonthunder2025.com, where the portal is open. Until next time, walk boldly with your dragons, speak your truth like fire, and may your path be guided by the ancient winds. Stay mystical, stay wild, stay dragon aligned. This is the English Mystic. See you next time.
In the realm where spirits dance, where dragons soar with fiery glance, a song of power, strength untold, for human hearts, for young and old. Wings that span the starry night, scales that gleam with ancient light. Dragons rise, guardians bold, tales of healing, tales untold. Almighty ones, wise and grand, protectors of this sacred land. With breath of fire, a timeless art, they heal and mend each wounded heart. Through shadows deep and forests wide, they guide us with a noble stride. In the dance of life, a sacred chance to heed the call of dragon trance. Scale by scale, a shield they weave. In the moonlit night, their magic breathe. Whispers of protection, strong and true. In the realm where dreams come through. So gather round, O kin of earth. Let the dragon's melody give birth to healing streams and fiery light, as we journey through the shaman's night. O dragons, ancient and divine, your friendship like the stars will shine. In the tapestry of life, a song we weave with spirits, dragons, hearts believe.